Okay, so we're up to the hardest equations you're going to have this year. We've still got to do word problems, but equations with fractions. And just a reminder, to simplify fractions when adding or subtracting, we must have the same denominator. So for instance, if I have a half plus a third, a half can be written as 3 over 6 okay. Oh, what have I done? Gone too far. Okay, so a half is the same as 3/6, a third is the same as 2/6, and so when we have 6 is the same, then we can add the numerator, so 2 plus 3 is 5. When finding the lowest common denominator, okay, if you can't see the answer, you know, like obviously I can see that 2 and 3 goes into 6, but otherwise if you're not sure, then write out the multiples of 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, blah, 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 keep going, and write out the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and then you're looking for the first time you have the same number, and then that you have the lowest common denominator. Now obviously 12 also is the same number, but it's not the first time it appears. Okay, so how do we use it? So applying this to equations, okay, we've got 2's, 3's, and we have a 1 for the 5. So the lowest number that 2, 3, and 1 goes into is 6. So that means the lowest common denominator will be 6. Okay, so that means that the denominator will be 6 for all of them. So what do we do with the top number? Okay, so the number 2 has changed to 6, so it has been tripled, which means that then I have to multiply that number by 3. And then we look at the number 3, and 3 has been doubled to get to 6. That means I have to double that number. And then finally, 1 has changed to 6, so it's been multiplied by 6. So that means that that number must be multiplied by 6. So what we've done to the bottom, we do to the top. Okay, otherwise we've changed the question. Now, this is the beauty. Once we've got 6's all the way across, then we don't have to worry about the fractions anymore. And we could just write out the equation like that. Now once we've got it in that form, then we've just got an equation that you've done before. You need to expand the brackets and then simplify. So we just multiply 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4, equals 30, and then 3x plus 2x is 5x. We're on the same side, we don't have to change sides. It's 3x plus 2x is 5x. 3 plus 4 is 7, equals 30, and then plus 7 goes across the other side, and so 5x will equal 30 take 7 is 23, and then divide by 5, so we end up with 23 on 5. Okay? And that's the answer. It's hard to check because it's a fraction, but that is the right answer. So copy that down, and when you're ready, come across and we'll do another couple of examples. Okay, so we're looking at second one. We've got 3's, 4's, and 1's. So the lowest common denominator is going to be a 12. Okay, so lowest common denominator is 12. So we times by 4, times by 3, times by 12, and so the top, that number will be times by 4, minus signs there, that number 3, so that's going to be times by 3, and that's a 12, so it's going to be times by 12. Okay, and then forget the 12, forget the 12, forget the 12. Okay, so now we're going to be very careful. Let's write out again. Now, expand the brackets, change colours. 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 1 is 4. Now be careful, minus 3 times 2 is minus 6x, but minus 3 times minus 1 is plus 3, because 2 minuses multiply to a plus, equals minus 36. 4x and minus 6x equals minus 2x. 4 plus 3 is 7, equals minus 36. Plus 7 goes to the other side, so minus 2x minus 36 minus 7 is minus 43. And then that minus 2 becomes divide. And so we have minus 43 over minus 2. And the two minuses make a plus, so we end up with 43 on 2, or 21.5. Okay, so copy that, and when you're ready, come across. Okay, last one. I got 3 fractions. I got 2s, 3s, and 4s. So the lowest common denominator is a number that they all go into, and that number is 12. 2 goes into 12, 3 goes into 12, 4 goes into 12. So we've got 12s again. Okay, so 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so that number is times by 6. That number is times by 4. And that number is times by 3. And then forget the 12s. So 6 times x is 6x, 6 times 1 is 6, 4 times x is 4x, 4 times minus 1 is minus 4, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, you've done all the hard work, now we just got to tidy it up. 6x plus 4x is 10x, 6 minus 4 is 2, equals 3x plus 3. 10x is bigger than 3x, so 3x has to go to it, and plus 2 has to go the opposite way. So 10x minus 3x is 7x. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then the 7 is divide, so it goes to the bottom, so the answer is 1 over 7. Okay, so that's about as hard as you'll have to get in solving equations. So there isn't anything in the book as hard as that, so I'll find a worksheet and I'll put that on Moodle and it'll be ready to go. Okay, thanks, bye.